Hello, all. It's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces High Priestess, aka the light that shines like a diamond, also known as your modern day nun, one who isn't within a coven, a convent, or a covenant. I do thank you all for listening and for watching on tonight. If y'all would be so kind to please like, share, and subscribe, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. This is going to be another one of my missing murder mysteries. Today, we're going to be covering the story of Rebecca Coriam, who went missing on a Disney Wonder cruise. Okay, she actually was an employee of Disney Wonder cruise ship, guys. Okay, so that's what we're going to be getting into on today, guys. Of course, I would like to go over my brief disclaimer with you all. Of course, you all know that I am Poetic Psychic Pisces, High Priestess. Of course, I would like to give you all the official welcome to tonight's true crime series, Missing / Murder Mystery, guys, okay? So your support is always appreciated. You definitely can like, share, subscribe, comment, send your super stickers, super thanks. And of course, if you would like to make a modest contribution to the channel, you can do so through Cash App, which is $tipdiamond36, or the PayPal, which is paypal.me/36diamond, guys, okay? So this commentary is covered under the Fair Use Act of 1976. Under Section 107, which allowances is made for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, psychic investigations, or what have you. You're also going to see this continuously streaming at the bottom of the screen, as you can see, which speaks of the content and the commentary that I'm creating covered under this Fair Use Act of 1976, guys. But I would like to say that although my psychic investigations covers very real and serious topics, which is no laughing matter, especially to me, this content, I must say that this content is for your entertainment purposes only. I would ask that you please use your own discernment and govern yourselves accordingly. You all please take the messages that apply, leave what does not, okay? Also, guys, as I said, this content is for the purposes of my psychic investigation into the situation, guys, okay, as well as criticism, comments, opinions, news reporting, teaching, education, and research, guys, okay? Like I said, y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I would also like to give my condolences to the friends, the family, the loved ones of Rebecca Coriam, who is missing her. I'm doing this solely for the purposes to get some type of answers, maybe unknown answers, predominantly for the family, or just whomever, those who knew her, cared about her, loved her, whatever, to just try to figure out what exactly happened, okay? Because seemingly Rebecca just kind of vanished into thin air on this Disney Wonder cruise, guys, okay? And so there's been a lot of speculations as to what could have or may have happened. People just don't disappear for no reason at all, guys. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out what exactly happened to her. I pretty much feel like I have this very well kind of summed up as to what went on. Okay, guys, and I definitely feel like there was a major cover up involved for sure, which I feel like most people that have covered this already have, already come to that determination, okay, that there's definitely a cover up involved. Okay, guys, so without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, guys. So as you can see on your screen, this is Rebecca Coriam. Okay. Um, Now, these are some Google images of her or what have you. Unlike the last missing murder mystery that I did, I showed you all like a clip of a video from a particular program. Okay, that's different. That's actually kind of different than just other content creators who have made their own videos about the situation. However, I am going to show you a couple of clips, but these are the images of Rebecca, as you can see here, guys. Okay. Um, Also, here, these are some of the last images, the last footage that was taken of her. Okay. As you can see, and this was like in the wee hours of the morning. This was said to be around 5:40 something, 5:45 or so in the morning when she was seen like this in very big baggy clothes that appeared not to be her own. You see her clothes hiked up here. It even looked like there is on the video image where you can see this, where someone played it. She even looks like she has some type of bruising or red marks on her side or her stomach area. Okay, in this image here, you can clearly, let me see if I can pull it up closer. You can clearly see her hands over her face, her eyes, her head, like she's crying here. She is really distraught and upset in this image here, or what have you. And right around the same time of this image here, she stops to make a phone call. Okay. Um, and it's very interesting to me that while I was, looking at other video images of this and just kind of breaking down what happened or what have you, it was very interesting that nobody ever said who she called, who she talked to, what was said. Okay. And on Disney cruises, I have learned that there are many cameras, okay, everywhere. Okay, but Disney refused to release all of its footage in camera. If they have this on camera, they have what happened to her on camera, where she went, how she disappeared, even if, she went overboard. They have images of that. They have footage of that. Okay, I guarantee you. But they refuse to show it. They refuse to give it over to the family or even authorities. Okay, they essentially covered this up, guys. Okay, so um, these are just several different images here that you can see. This is her in the last moments before she just ultimately just completely vanished and disappeared, guys. Okay. But these are all the various different images of her. Um, this is her family here, her mom and her dad here. Okay. This is the cruise ship she was on here. But this is her mom and her dad, what have you, guys. So I'm going to go through a bit of more of this story here. And this girl here, guys, okay, she's a trip. She didn't have anything come up with anything to say until like 6 years after the disappearance of Rebecca Coriam. But this chick here was supposed to be the girlfriend of Rebecca, okay? At the time of her disappearance, guys, okay? And this image here, look how sneaky and mischievous she looked, guys, okay? Her as well as this guy here, okay? This is who she spent her last night with, okay? Right before she was seen wandering through the halls alone, clearly distraught, crying, upset, and by herself, okay? But this black girl here was supposed to be her girlfriend, supposedly, and they had supposedly some type of threesome that night. Okay, this was the girlfriend. This was an extra side piece lover of her supposed girlfriend. Okay, and they allegedly had some type of threesome, but of course, it's Rebecca Coriam that came up missing. Okay. So we're gonna break this thing down. We're gonna figure out what else is going on here, guys. Okay, as it relates to Rebecca Coriam. Okay, She was actually a Disney Cruise Line youth counselor, as you can see here. Um, on this, hold on, guys. And she was a Disney cruise youth counselor, guys. Okay, so let me go over with you all what I have discovered thus far. Okay, with this situation, guys. Okay, so as I said, this is Rebecca Coriam, guys. Okay, um, she worked aboard the Disney Wonder Cruise ship. Okay, as an employee. A youth counselor, I believe was her position. Okay. There was a bit of extensive training and different things that went on prior to her boarding the ship, but it was like, I want to say March the 22nd of 2011. Well, actually, that was the day that she went missing. The interesting thing, she had been working with them for a while. She had to do some training and different things somewhere else. After that extensive training, they got like a little break. She went back home to see her family. She came back and she was assigned to, on a particular cruise. Okay. The interesting thing is I feel like it was like March 21st when this particular cruise set sail, the Disney Wonder Cruise, when it set sail. And the situation that happened with her happened on March 22nd of 2011. Okay. It's very interesting because I believe I've seen that her birthday is even in March, if I'm not mistaken. But I definitely know that this situation happened in March of 22nd of 2011. It's just a whole lot of twos there, okay? The 22nd made 2-2, and then 2011 is another 2-2, okay? So I'm just noticing a lot of the numerology here. So on March 22nd of 2011 at 5:45 a.m., Rebecca Coriam was last seen on camera visibly upset, and she even stopped somewhere in particular to talk on a phone to someone. Like I said, I found it very suspicious that um, she spoke to someone, yet it's never said who she spoke to and what she said. And I know that call was recorded. Not only was she on CCTV making that call, like that, they showed that much, okay, on the CCTV. But I matter of factly know that Disney records their calls, okay, because this was like an in-house phone, like a ship's phone. So it wasn't like she was on her cell phone or something like that. She was on an in-house phone. I know those calls had to be logged, recorded. You know what I'm saying? She talked to somebody, okay, on that phone, which is quite interesting. And I'm gonna say, when I seen the images of her, it's in the wee hours of the morning. Her clothes are jacked up. They look too big. She looks to have on like guys' attire. Okay. She's crying. She's upset. I instantly felt like she had been raped. She had been taken advantage of, okay? She picked up that phone. She was seen on CCTV, okay? And walking by herself, crying, visibly upset. And she went to that phone to call someone. And I believe whoever she talked to, she told what happened to her, okay? And that is what led to what happened to her next. Because she told as to what was done to her, what happened to her. Matter of factly, I wholeheartedly believe that that is what happened. Okay. At some point in time in that imagery, it is said that a guy came up to her, and you could kind of, people say that you can see this guy asking her, "Hey, are you okay?" And she turns and looks and says, I'm fine," or what have you. And the guy appears to go on or whatever, and she continued talking to whomever she was talking to on that phone. But matter of factly, as disheveled as she looked and upset as she was, whoever she called on that phone, she either called for help or she called to tell someone what happened to her, okay? And what went on with her and happened to her next was as a result of that. I feel like she told what happened to her, or what have you guys, okay? So as I said, her clothes were, appeared to be too big for her, very baggy and falling off of her. Her shirt was hiked up, raised up slightly, exposing her side, her skin period, like the side area and her stomach. Okay. As I just said, one image showed her with her hands covering her face, her eyes, head area, okay, as if she was crying. She's definitely very upset. The CCTV footage showed a man, like I just said, approaching her as if he was concerned about her, asking if she was okay, allegedly. The video appeared as if Rebecca told the man that she was fine, okay? Either because she didn't know the guy or because, for whatever reason, she told that man, yeah, I'm fine, okay? After Rebecca hung up the phone with whomever she was talking to, which is never disclosed, nor the conversation that she had, which I know they have on recording, which obviously this was never given over to the police authorities or, the family or anything, okay? Um, uh, So yeah, like I said, after Rebecca hung up the phone, she was never seen or heard from ever again, and she wasn't spotted anymore on any CCTV, video footage, camera footage. Okay, this cruise has cameras hidden everywhere. Okay, probably some places they shouldn't even be. Okay, there are cameras everywhere, and that's another thing that was very suspicious about Disney. I've seen something where it even said that they were very vague in their accounts of things, details of things. They would not give over all of their footage, all of the images. These were the only images that they allowed to be seen of her. Okay, they did not show anything else with her. You know what I'm saying? Did not disclose who she talked to, what she said, any other video footage of her. Okay, she clearly walked on somewhere else. You see her walking forward on somewhere else even when she gets off that phone. But that footage was not given over, was not shown or anything like that or what have you guys. Okay, and it was just a lot. Okay, I found it very interesting that even the persons that she was hanging out with the night before, well, I'm gonna get to that, okay, because that chick is very suspicious to me, okay, um as well. Okay, so basically when Rebecca hung up the phone, okay, she was never seen or heard from ever again. Okay, now, around 9 a.m. that morning, Rebecca didn't show up for her 9 a.m. shift. Okay. So basically, if she was seen here on CCTV footage, okay, at 5:45, and we're going to say between 5:45 and 6 a.m., okay, she's seen on these images walking along by herself and then stopping at the phone. So let's say that took 15 minutes from 5:45 a.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, so from 6 to 9 a.m., something happened to her. That's a 4-hour window from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. when her shift would have supposedly started. Okay, because it was at that time that Disney employees were notified to search for her. Okay, but they supposedly, claimed that they couldn't find her anywhere. Yet guests said that a couple announcements were made about the employee being missing, and they was looking for her. But there were guests that said that there was no real search. Nobody was going in and out of rooms searching for her or anything like that. So it's like, where are you searching for a person? This is a huge cruise ship. You only went and searched in her room and at her workstation, or like, where did you search for her exactly? Only out in the open? You understand what I'm saying? She could have been anywhere. Okay, but there was no real search for her. Yet Disney claimed that they notified all of their employees to search for her. Okay, but like I said, they supposedly couldn't find her. Okay, so I feel like it said that the Mexican Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard were allegedly contacted to search the water but she was never found. Okay. Disney claimed Rebecca swept overboard um, by an unusual wave. Okay, this rogue wave or unusual wave of some kind, and just totally disappeared and vanished. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how do you just come up with that? How do you give that account of events unless you know that is what is happening? That is what happened, okay? Unless you have on video footage seeing her being swept up to the air and in the air and over the side of the ship, or seeing her being pushed by somebody over the side of the ship into the water. How do you determine? Just say, oh, well, you know what? There was a rogue wave, there was some type of unusual wave, and she flipped over, and that's bullshit. Okay, because if it's that easily for somebody to fly overboard because of a damn wave, then everybody is in danger on that goes on a damn cruise. And considering the fact this is a Disney cruise, and you probably have like so many children on there, okay, and their families traveling with these children, okay, on a cruise like a Disney cruise. Okay, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous for it to be that easy for someone to sweep overboard. Like it's a lie. It's made up. It's a fabrication. You just totally came up with something like, oh yeah, we can't find her. So you know what? She just kind of, there was a wave. You know what? I just thought about it. There was a wave and she went overboard. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay. Because by saying that, you are clearly admitting that your cruise ship is unsafe for anybody. Even if one wanted to go along with that theory, you're clearly saying that your cruise ship is unsafe. But it was later found that the winds were normal, the waters were normal. There were no, it was no bad weather or anything like that where, some type of, knee-jerk wind, waves or something could have just sent somebody flying over and most of the railings on cruise ships are about, I want to say about 6 feet high, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, you need to understand that a person would literally have to come up off the ground halfway in the air to flip over the side of that. Or literally imagine somebody, you ever seen somebody picking somebody up from like the legs area, like up under the buttocks area, around the legs area, lifting them straight up? This person, if in terms of somebody picking somebody up, that person would have to be picked up like that and then tilted over the side of a 6-foot railing. It's preposterous to think that your railings is so low and so unsafe that the wind could blow too hard or a wave could crash into the side of this huge fucking ship and a person would just go flying the fuck over. It's dumb. Every time cruise ships say that, you know what I'm saying? And that'd be their go-to. Oh, you know what? They must have killed themselves. Oh, you know what? There was a strong winds and a wave, and they could have gotten swept overboard. Like, literally, for such a thing to happen, it would have to be strong winds, very strong waves, and this person would have literally had to already been standing up on the rails and halfway leaning the fuck over it for the strong winds and the waves to come along and just like bloop, and knock them over. It's stupid, guys. Okay. But this is what Disney claimed, that Rebecca was swept overboard by an unusual wave and disappeared into the sea. But I feel like that is highly unlikely. Okay, that is likely a lie. Okay, but it said that there was no panic. Okay, there was no haste to find the youth counselor Rebecca Coriam. Okay. Even other passengers, there was no panic. There was no real search on board for Rebecca, even though Disney was said to have alerted the passengers of the cruise that Rebecca was missing. Okay. I've seen several different videos where others, like there was years and years later, there was this, like a journalist. I was going to say private investigator, but this person was kind of acting like a private investigator, but I think this is like a journalist or something, or private investigator, something like that, that was working with the family and got the family's permission to look into the story and kind of, took a trip on the cruise like a regular average Joe person. And this person, while they were on the cruise, they were just kind of looking around, checking things out, making notes of things, randomly talking to employees that unofficially told them, oh, the situation with Rebecca Coriam, oh, it didn't happen to, alleged, just, coming up with, there's things that these people told them or what have you, or what have you. But anyway, guys, so this happened in 2011. Okay, y'all remember the chick that I was telling you about that is supposedly was supposed to be this girl here that was supposed to be oh shoot, hold on guys, let me go back. It was supposed to be Rebecca Coriam's girlfriend. Okay, if you look over here to the right of the screen, if you see my cursor here, this girl here. Okay, this was supposed to be her girlfriend. They worked on the cruise together. Okay, I find it so hard. This chick pisses me off. Okay, because she came out with so much, like, years and years later. She didn't come out when this happened. This is supposed to be your girlfriend. You're supposed to care about this person. Yet she had nothing to say when the situation happened. She even went on to say that when the employees was alerted that Rebecca was missing, she never left the room to even search for her like everybody else. Okay? She stayed laid up in the room with the guy that she was with. Okay? But in 2016, she decided, she wanted to clear her name, and people have misconceptions of her, but bitch, you're still alive. Rebecca Coriam, is missing, and actually, like, missing, you know what I'm saying? Likely dead, but here you are alive, okay? But people have some type of misconceptions of you. Your sorry ass girlfriend, when your alleged girlfriend goes to is distraught and upset, and when Rebecca Coriam was seen wandering through the halls, visibly upset, right before that, she was said to be in the same room with this chick and that guy. Okay? So in 2016, 5 years after Rebecca went missing, her supposed girlfriend finally decides to speak out. Now, this chick's name is Tracy Medley. Okay, guys? And she had a lot to blame on Rebecca. She was saying all kind of outlandish things about her. Could be true. We don't know Rebecca Coriam personally, but it amazed me that she said everything that she could say to put Rebecca Coriam in a bad light, but didn't include herself in it. You know what I'm saying? First of all, birds of a feather flock together. Okay, so I found it quite interesting where she was like, "Oh yeah, Rebecca had a lot of issues. She was doing a lot of drugs. Even when she was in England, she was doing drugs and different things like that, or what have you." Which, that's a different story for a different day, y'all. Because I even have a problem with that. If y'all look at a lot of these crews, well, I've been watching a lot of them lately, guys. Okay. It's always talk about drugs. Who are smuggling the drugs? This is how there is all kind of crimes that goes on cruise ships. Not only do people come up the fuck missing all the time, people pop up dead all the time. There's a lot of criminal activity that happens, from rapes to drug usage, drug dealing, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, human trafficking. There is so much crime. I want to know who be smuggling these drugs because these employees be having the drugs. It's not even just the passenger, just the guests. The employees have these drugs. Okay, how are they getting access to this? Somebody who is running that ship, who has power on that ship, is allowing these drugs in. Okay? from the guests to the employees have access to them. I was even watching this other case about this other employee. She was a chef though, okay, who vanished and completely went the fuck missing, okay? Um, and it was believed that some of her other employees, were involved or whatever, but they kept on saying something like there was like a staff service deck that was only for the staff, like no guests could be in that part or whatever. And it's basically where the staff would go out, smoke a cigarette, and they kept on saying something about making, illegal exchanges or nefarious type of exchanges, but they would never say it was drugs, but it had to be drugs. I'm like, how are they getting this shit? How? You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, I said that because it made me think of that. I'm just like, there's a lot of criminal activity that goes on cruise ships, y'all. When you're smack dead in the middle of the freaking ocean, it's almost like you're just on your own. There are no freaking laws, okay? It's not like being in a particular state or specifically being in a particular country and like whoever is the government or the authority in that area, any type of crimes or problems go on, those authority figures would handle that in their jurisdiction. When we're smack dead in the middle of the fucking ocean, there is no law. This is the reason why all kind of crimes go on cruise ships, okay? So, guys, okay? This Tracy claimed that Rebecca was very distressed and had been using cocaine at the time of her disappearance, okay? She said that they both were employed by Disney Wonder Cruise Club and first met in 2010. Tracy also claimed that Rebecca used drugs and alcohol heavily, like all the time. And when she was too intoxicated, she would scream, she would cry, she would hit herself or attempt suicide or even bang her head against the walls of the ship. Okay. Tracy even said that Rebecca and her and this other guy, they had drinks at the bar the night before. So Becca basically had drinks with Tracy and this other guy, okay, that I guess was like Tracy's boyfriend or whatever, okay, Devin, okay, on the night of her disappearance. So they were all hanging out, they were all drinking. Instead of her saying, oh yeah, we were all drinking, alcohol is perfectly legal. So she was like, oh yeah, we were having some drinks, but you solely only put it on Rebecca that she was getting high. Okay, like I said, birds of a feather flock to fuck together. If Rebecca was getting high, bitch, you was getting high. Okay, I'm sorry, but people who get high, they usually get high with getting high with other people that get the fuck high. Don't put her on blast and say she getting high like you don't get high, like that's beneath you. Bullshit, okay? Because people, so like take a person who do drugs, okay, and say they're around other people who don't do drugs. They would do those drugs in secret without anyone seeing. She was to go to the bathroom, go in hiding somewhere, go to her room or something, snort her powder, whatever the hell she's doing. You understand what I'm saying? But if she's amongst people who party the way she party, get down the way she get down, like I said, birds of a feather flock together. Okay? But I did not like the way she explained this. You know what I'm saying? You waited 5 damn years after this woman disappeared. And she even said herself, she was like, so she was like, okay, first of all, she said they were at the bar. First of all, after she threw Rebecca under the bus as basically being a drug addict and mentally ill from what she, how she described her. Okay. She claimed that they were at the bar, they had several drinks or what have you. She said they went back to the guy's room and they all had a threesome, okay? She claimed that this really turned her on, that, Rebecca was, engaging with her like this, you know what I'm saying, or what have you. Then she said they fell asleep, okay, until Rebecca got up and stumbled out, okay? I heard somewhere else that Rebecca got up and she was like she needed some clothes. This is another thing that weirds me out. Okay, if y'all were out, all of y'all had on your own fucking clothes. Okay, even if y'all went somewhere and got down with the get down, how come she couldn't get up and put on her own damn clothes? Why does she need someone else's clothes? Who took her clothes? Where are her clothes that she had on the night before when y'all were hanging out and partying? Okay. And considering the fact that y'all were at the bar having some drinks, y'all probably hadn't got off work for the evening, went to your rooms, changed clothes into something nicer, like how you see them on this picture here. They're in regular clothes. They're on the cruise ship, but they're in regular clothes. They're dancing, look like they're having a good time and shit like that, or what have you. You understand what I'm saying? Why, when she got up, she didn't have her own clothes? She needed somebody else's clothes to put on. But this is what Tracy says. And one statement I heard that, so after they had the threesome, they all fell asleep. Then Rebecca got up early in the morning, said she needed some clothes, put on some clothes, and she said she needed to take a walk. Okay, is what Tracy said. She needed to go on a walk. Okay, so Rebecca gets up, throw on some clothes that's not her own to go on this walk. She stumbles out. Tracy said she decided to stay laid up, covered up with the guy that they had the threesome with. Okay. So obviously, Tracy is supposed to be the girlfriend of Rebecca, but you obviously didn't give a damn how she was feeling or what was going on with her, because you didn't get up and go with your girlfriend. You decided to stay laid up with this guy that y'all had this threesome with. Okay. So this is where you get to the point where Rebecca is stumbling around at 5:45 in the morning, as you can see on the video clip here. Okay. By herself. She's clearly distraught. She's upset. She clearly is crying to me. Okay. Nobody holds their face in their head like that if they're not crying. This girl was sad. She was crying. She was upset. She could have been hurt. Any damn thing. Okay. She's by herself. She's crying. She's upset and everything. Okay. She's out there by herself. Her girlfriend is laid up in the room with this guy. Somewhere in between 5:45 a.m. and 9 a.m. when she did not show up for her work shift, Rebecca goes missing, guys. Okay. At which time it is said that the employees of Disney Wonder Cruise Ship was alerted. Hey, Rebecca didn't show up for a shift. Find Rebecca. Where's Rebecca? They're smack dead in the middle of the ocean. She couldn't have gone anywhere. She's got to be around here somewhere. Did she oversleep? Is she sick, ill? Like, where is she at? What? Find Rebecca. Okay. Tracy goes on to say that, even though they couldn't find her, find Rebecca, even though she heard the message to find her or whatever, that they were looking for her. Tracy claims that she never got up. She said she didn't leave the room with this guy. Obviously, the dick from this guy must have been really fucking good, because Tracy claims that she didn't get her ass up and leave that room all day long to go and search for your girlfriend after the Disney Cruise had clearly claimed that they put out a message to all employees. We have an employee that's missing. You all need to be looking for her everywhere. This is your girlfriend. You don't get up to look for her. You don't say, okay, now wait a minute, hold on. Now she was just here hanging out with us. She said she was going for a walk. How she just disappeared? Being the girlfriend, I would have been the first one up looking for her. You know what I'm saying? After she hadn't came back to the room in 5 or 10 minutes, I would have got up looking for her before it was even said that she was fucking missing. Calling her phone, something. But no, not Tracy. She don't do none of this. She's very suspicious to me, okay? And the mere fact that this girl has, completely vanished, has gone missing, never be seen or heard from ever again, I found it so fucking trifling that you would just sit up. Everything she had to say about her was like blaming the victim. Oh, she gets high. She was severely high on cocaine and, you know, and alcohol and this and that. Everything negative she could have said about her. That's not a good fucking girlfriend. That's like literally not a good fucking girlfriend. And then you make it seem like she was doing everything by herself. You had absolutely nothing to do with anything. Okay? But y'all go and have this damn threesome together, and then she leaves out by herself while you stay booed up with this random ass guy that likely Rebecca didn't even know any damn thing about. Y'all being that close until that night. Okay? So anyway, guys, that's what's going on here. Okay. I pulled some cards. I did a reading for this situation, and it's really heartbreaking. It's sad, what I'm going to tell you all, okay? But I believe I have figured out what exactly happened to her. And this was most definitely a cover up, guys, okay? So, yeah, we're going to get into the situation and what's going on here, okay? But let me show you all again, okay? These were the people here that Rebecca was last seen with. Okay, look at her face. Don't she look sneaky and mischievous? She just looked like a little lion ass effer. Okay, and he looked rather deceptive too. Okay, kind of shady, shicey too. He never did come out and say a damn thing. Tracy comes out 5 years later, but this was supposed to be your girlfriend. Okay, look at this, says missing girlfriend, lover. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I believe this guy raped her, took advantage of Rebecca. Okay, and I believe Tracy was turned on by it. Okay, and sat back and watched and participated in watching her being brutalized and raped by this bastard, and she screwed him too. Okay, they could have took advantage of her being overly intoxicated. Okay, probably encouraged her to get even more intoxicated. You know what I'm saying? And she was taken advantage of that night. Okay, but I'm gonna tell y'all the problem. I'm gonna tell y'all the problem. After this happened, when Rebecca stumbled out of there, when she left there, she was so upset. She was so distraught by this. It was all sinking in what had happened the night before and everything, guys. Okay. I believe she was raped. I believe she was taken advantage of. Okay. When she got on that phone, she called somebody and told somebody what was done to her, what had happened to her. And that is what got her killed. She told somebody that she had been raped, that she had been taken advantage of. I guarantee you. And that's why she was silenced. That's why she was killed, to silence her. Okay? For exposing what was done to her, what had happened to her, guys. Okay? So we're going to get into the reading, guys. Let's take a brief break. Okay, guys, so as you can see on the screen, there are like so many different people who have like covered this story. You can literally go and watch like countless videos of people who have talked about this. or done some type of content pertaining to Rebecca Coriam. Okay, guys? We're going to take a couple of brief little look at a couple brief little clips. I really don't like playing other people's content, like if it was just like kind of general, but we're going to look at a couple clips of something here, guys. Okay, guys, so we've already disclosed the fact that it was Disney Wonder Cruise that Rebecca Coriam was working on, guys, okay? So this is the cruise ship. I feel like this is some of their characters that they have that, you know, for entertainment on the cruise ship for the guests and different things as such. Guys, the clips that we're going to be looking at is from a channel called Scary Mysteries, okay? So we're definitely not going to watch this entire video, okay? Which this is only about 21 minute or probably maybe like a 22-minute video, 23-minute video, okay? So you can go to YouTube and search Scary Mysteries channel, okay? And this video is entitled Unsolved: The Disappearance of Disney Cruise Ship Employee Rebecca Coriam, guys, okay? And there's actually, like if you click right here where there's actually different segments, okay? Like from beginning to end of this. So if you like only care to see certain clips, okay? Like this is his intro part here. That's getting to know Rebecca. It just basically talks about, you know, her background, her upbringing, where she comes from, how she got started, or what have you, guys, okay? And you know, each part of the video is different segments. So you have Rebecca's disappearance, the investigation, just different people that we speak with. Okay, Rebecca's girlfriend, Rebecca's family, conclusion of what have you, of what people, you know, assume happened with this young lady. Okay. Hold on, guys. So let's look at this Rebecca's disappearance portion. Hold on, guys. What the heck did I do? Hold on, guys. I think I clicked something wrong. Hold on. Okay.
After being hired by the company, she was sent to Florida for training. She spent 4 months working on a ship sailing to the Bahamas. Then on March 21st, she went back to work on the Disney Wonder after taking a 2-month break to visit her family back in England. And that's when the cruise ship set sail from Los Angeles, California, bound for Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. But then, shortly after the voyage began on March 22nd, 2011, at 5:45 a.m., Rebecca was last seen on surveillance footage acting visibly upset while talking on an internal phone line in the crew lounge. Her clothes appeared to be both not her own and were much too large for her. On the CCTV footage, a man approached her and appeared to ask if she was okay. She was seen in the video telling the man that she was just fine. And then, after she hung up the phone, she was never heard or seen from again. When Rebecca didn't show up for a 9 a.m. shift, Disney employees were notified to search the ship for her, but they just couldn't find her anywhere. Even the Mexican Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard were contacted to search the ocean, but they too weren't able to find any signs of her. The alarm was fully raised a few hours later when she failed to show up for work, as according to Disney, they claimed she was swept overboard by an unusual wave and disappeared into the sea. The passengers that were on the ship that day were aware of the missing employee. This was according to a story that appeared right after Rebecca's disappearance was reported. In an interview, the passenger said, "They told us over the loudspeaker several times that they were looking for her, and then all of a sudden, they said they still hadn't found her." Another passenger explained, "We didn't notice anybody panicking or frantically going in and out of rooms. I didn't even notice a search. They said that they were searching, but there was nothing obvious."
Okay, guys, if you all would like to see the rest of that video, okay, like I said, definitely shout out to Scary Mysteries for that little couple minute portion that we viewed there, okay. Like I said, this video is entitled Unsolved, the disappearance of Disney cruise ship employee Rebecca Coriam, guys, okay. So that is the deal, guys, with this situation. We are going to get into this reading and see what other information that I can provide, okay, for you all, guys, okay. Okay, guys, so I started on the first deck, okay, and I just stopped there because there was a lot of information that I got just from pulling the first deck. Okay, I just stopped there because I pretty much figured out what is going on. But I'll post some more messages as we, once we get through these and just kind of see, what comes out, at us from there, guys. Okay, this right here is just for, all the negative Nancys in the world who like directing negative energy towards people. This just says, may all negative energy be returned to sender, guys. Okay, so let's get started. The first card that came out was the Three of Cups, guys. It was very interesting, okay? Let me say this first, okay? When I first started shuffling and I asked Spirit what happened to Rebecca Coriam, I seen the Hierophant, okay? And so it popped out right away, and it kind of threw me off because I was expecting to get a build up of basically what happened, okay? And so I set it aside, okay? And after I set it aside, the Hierophant aside, I got the Tower here. I matter of factly know that this person here is directly responsible for the tragedy of Rebecca Coriam, guys, okay? Let me set it aside, guys, because I then went into the buildup. I want to know, I tell Spirit, I'm like, okay, when I asked what happened to Rebecca Coriam, I got who was directly responsible for her disappearance, for her death, okay? And so I set it aside and I wanted to go back. I want the buildup. I want everything that took place leading up to, okay? So I got the Three of Cups, okay? The Three of Cups tells us, and this card is very interesting to me, okay? Do you see how there's this one Caucasian girl here? That's Rebecca. See how it's one female, one black female, one white female, one black male here, okay? That's literally Rebecca, the Tracy girl that was supposed to be her girlfriend, and this random guy, Devin, okay? The Three of Cups talks about a time to celebrate, okay? It's a social gatherings, friendships, parties, get-togethers, good times, reunions. It's basically, you even see them with their drinks here, okay? This literally could be them partying, hanging out, getting together at that bar, okay? The Three of Cups can also speak of collaborative artistic pursuits as well, but it's basically a coming together. It's a party, a gathering, a get together, a mix, a mingle, whatever you want to call it here, okay? So I definitely matter of factly know that the night before Rebecca's disappearance, she was mixing and mingling. She was partying. She was having a good time. She was having some drinks, and everything. Okay. We have the Two of Wands here. Okay. So the Two of Wands is about a decision here. Okay. It can speak to opportunity, visualization, a discovery of something, okay? Getting ready for something, future planning, one considering their options, but ultimately the Two of Wands is about a decision, okay? Usually the one who makes some type of decisions in the Two of Wands energy, um, they it's like they have clear vision. Okay, it's almost like one making feel like they have clear vision and they're making some type of wise decision or according to them. Okay, but some type of decision was made nonetheless. Okay, so they went from partying to someone making some type of decision. Some type of decision was made there after the party. Whatever this or this gathering, mixing, mingling, whatever decision was made, it led to Rebecca being in this energy, the energy of the Five of Cups. Okay. Now, the Five of Cups talks about unwelcome changes. Okay. It talks about sadness, sorrow, misery, pain, anguish, grief, loss, mourning, emotional baggage. Okay. Um, it also speaks to one resisting change here. Okay. So literally in that bit of time here, okay, you literally have, besides the Two of Wands here in the middle, you have jumped from the Three of Cups to the Five of Cups. The Three of Cups is celebrating a good time, mixing, mingling, drinking, pottering, social gatherings with friends. To the Five of Cups is like sadness, disappointment, regret, okay? That's a big leap. Whatever this decision that was made, okay, it literally went from party, hanging out, having a good time to sadness, loss, disappointment, and regret, okay, as it relates to Rebecca, the energy that she was in, the feelings that she had, and so forth. I'm seeing the Ace of Coins here, okay? I'm feeling like the Ace of Coins has a lot of energy with it, okay? A lot of people see the Ace of Coins and automatically think, because the Ace of Coins is an abundance card, okay? But a lot of times people hear abundance and solely only think of money. Yes, the Ace of Coins, money is a factor, but the Ace of Coins talks about so much more. Okay, it talks about potential. It also speaks of abundance, and abundance comes in many different forms. Okay, abundance is not only money. Abundance could be support, could be friendships, could be guidance. Like abundance can be many different things, but the Ace of Coins do speak to abundance, potential. Okay, stability, security. Okay, the Ace of Coins also speaks to meeting someone new. Okay, it also speaks to a new beginning of something. Okay, it also speaks to an offer of some kind. Okay, I feel like someone there I feel like Rebecca met someone new, whoever this guy that that they were mixing or mingling with, hanging with, is was someone new to Rebecca. I also feel like that there was some type of offer of some kind that was made to Rebecca, okay? Um, for the purposes of money or whatever else, okay? But there was some type of offer that was made to her, okay? So, like I said, they have gone from mixing and mingling, partying, having drinks, okay? Then a decision, some type of decision was made, okay? Action was taken, movement forward, okay? That led to some type of sadness, loss, disappointment, and regret. And this has to do with Rebecca meeting this someone new and some type of offer, okay? But it literally was done only to entrap her, because then we go to the Eight of Swords, okay? The Eight of Swords, okay, speaks of entrapment, okay? It can speak of one having negative thoughts. It can speak to doom and gloom. It can speak to, first of all, someone who's in the Eight of Swords, they're entrapped, they're stuck, they're restricted, they're unable to move or get out of a situation, like almost like one being held captive or hostage or imprisoned in some type of way, okay? I'm seeing like there could have been a situation where Rebecca's hands were tied. She could have been paralyzed for a period of time, um, maybe due to something that she, indulged in, ingested, or something like that. This is crisis type of energy, the Eight of Swords. Okay. Um, I feel like this decision that was made here, like I said, they went from mixing and mingling, having drinks, having a good time, to a decision being made. Okay, and I feel like this decision had to do with them all going back to this guy's room, hanging out there, maybe having some type of threesome, and then that's where the sadness and the loss and the disappointment and regret came in. Okay, like I said, there was some type of offer of some kind that was made. Okay, this person could have offered some type of money of some kind to them, but I feel like Rebecca was trapped, like in something. Like they wouldn't let her go, they wouldn't let her leave. Like she was stuck, she was trapped, she was restricted. This person could have tied her up, um, blindfolded her, did things to her. Okay, because it was like she was stuck, she was trapped there for a period of time. Spirit is saying, okay. So the Six of Coins is clarifying the Three of Cups. Okay. So while they were celebrating, while they were having this social gathering, friends getting together, partying, having a good time, or what have you, somebody was being very generous and very giving to her. The Six of Coins is like it's like this giving and receiving type of energy. It's generosity. It can speak to balance or kindness or accepting type of energy, treating one as equal. It's a give and take, quid pro quo type of energy, though. Okay, this for that or something like that. One can feel like they're being cared for or valued in this energy. I feel like while they were partying or mixing and mingling, somebody was being very generous and given to Rebecca on purpose. Okay, this could have consisted of buying her drinks or doting on her, like, because the Six of Coins is about a gift of generosity. It's kindness. It's somebody was being very generous with her while they were mixing and mingling together here. Okay, this could have to do with this guy or what have you here. Okay, but then I'm seeing the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is clarifying the Two of Wands. So whatever decision that was made by this Two of Cups. The Two of Cups talks about a partnership. You see this guy and this girl here, don't that look like Tracy and whoever that black guy was, that Devin guy? Okay, the Two of Cups talks about a partnership. Okay, it can talk about mutual feelings in something, a new partner, an agreement of some kind. They were in sync in something, and some type of decision that was made here. Now, remind you, Tracy is supposed to be Rebecca's girlfriend. Okay, I feel like Rebecca learned on that night that Tracy was, fooling with guys too, or decided to, whatever she had going on with this guy, maybe Rebecca learned of it that night or what have you. But some type of decision, whatever this decision that was made, okay, it was made by it was made by two people, whoever's in this coupled up, this relationship or partnership with one another, guys. Okay, this sadness, loss, disappointment, and regret, it came from this Ace of Swords here. Okay, now the Ace of Swords is all about truth and clarity. Okay, one's vision. Rebecca's seen something. Okay, that's what the vision part is about. Okay, she learned some type of truth. She gained some type of clarity. She had some type of awareness or insight. Okay, and because of this truth, clarity, awareness, insight, epiphanies, this is what caused her sadness, loss, disappointment, and regret. Okay, oftentimes people don't talk about this, but the Ace of Swords can even speak to force. Okay, it's very decisive energy. Okay, it's compelling, it's focused, it's ideas, it's communicative type of energy here. Okay, somebody forced themselves on Rebecca. Okay, and I feel like it's this guy or what have you, because we have the Three of Swords here. Okay, the Three of Swords talks about heartache, heartbreak, sadness, sorrow, misery, pain, anguish. Okay, it's deep emotional pain, it's grief, it's disillusionment, sorrow, depression, it's heartbreak due to misunderstandings. Okay, she was crying tears, she was at a loss. Okay, this Three of Swords is clarifying the Ace of Coins. Okay, um like I said, she met this new person. Okay, she accepted some type of offer, something that was being offered to her in this energy. um Hold on, guys, just a minute. If you, that's my daughter's TV is so freaking loud. Okay, guys, give me just a minute. Okay, so after Rebecca met this new person, and the new person she met was this guy. Okay, this is not somebody she normally interacted with. I don't think she knew this person really before that night. Okay, but as I said, there was some type of, there was like this over giving and generosity and an offer that was made, and um or what have you. Okay, but this led to heartache and heartbreak for Rebecca. Okay, this guy forced himself on the, and Tracy literally sat back and participated and watched. Okay, Rebecca was already um, sad and disappointment and regret due to some type of the truth or clarity that she was made aware of. Okay, due to her awareness and insight of what was happening, what was going on. Okay. Um, and we have, and this brings us to the Five of Wands here, which is clarifying the Eight of Swords. So by this time, Rebecca is trapped. She's stuck in a situation she can't get out of. Okay, they even restricted her. Okay, in a way, she was unable to move or get out of a situation. Maybe she was given something to like paralyze her in the moment, or maybe she was just paralyzed in fear. But I'm getting a situation of like maybe blindfolded or hands being tied, or like it was a crisis situation, or either if she wasn't bound or gagged or whatever, she was definitely stuck. She was trapped where she could just get up and go in the midst of this. Okay, she was trapped in a situation, guys. Okay, and the Five of Wands is all about jealousy, envy, hatred, spitefulness, competition. Okay, it can even speak to retaliation, punishment, payback, or revenge. Spirit is saying, okay, guys. Okay, guys. So there was some type of personality clashes, some type of there was arguing or chaos. Okay, some type of misunderstanding or opposition. I feel like this either came before or after a situation happened here. Tempers were definitely flaring. Okay, um, the Five of Wands can also speak to lost opportunities, guys. Okay, but like I said, I feel like they were this these three were mixing and mingling together. Okay, I felt like the decision that was made was for them to have some threesome together, which definitely led to some type of sadness, loss, disappointment, or regret for Rebecca. This was an unwelcome change. Okay, this brought her grief. Okay, mourning, emotional baggage, even. Okay, she resisted this change. Okay, she didn't want this. Okay, this is a decision that was made by Tracy and this guy, the Devin guy. Okay, but there was some type of offer that was made to her. I feel like they almost like lured her into a situation with the promise of um money or something like that, but she just ended up being entrapped. Okay, in a situation. Okay, and it just turned into a doom and gloom type of situation. Okay, she was taken advantage of. Okay, I feel like she resisted what they wanted to do, and she was just, this person forced themselves upon her. Okay, like I said, I feel like she was lured into this, okay? Because while they were mixing and mingling and drinking and partying or at the bar or whatever, okay, they were being very generous to her, very giving to her. They could have been buying her drinks if she was into drugs or something like that. They could have been, giving her free drugs, or you know what I'm saying, just really kind of laying it on thick, being overly giving, overly generous. Um, Making her feel valued, and you know what I'm saying, you know how a person do when they're really trying to take advantage of you, but they're buttering you up and they're doing nice things and making you feel included and making you feel wanted and desired and all this other kind of stuff just to get what they want. Okay, because this generosity, okay, this came from this with this Two of Cups being here, this giving and generosity came from this couple here. Okay, I feel like this was like Tracy and this guy here. Okay, because I feel like in the midst of this, whether drunk or high or whatever, I feel like Rebecca seen what was really going on. This is when she learned the truth of like what was really happening, what was going on. She had this awareness, this insight to what was really happening and going on, and it caused her heartache. It caused her heartache, heartbreak, grief over the situation. Okay. Obviously, there was jealousy and competition or what have you, that really led, this into a whole nother situation. Because, like I said, I feel like she was used, she was abused, she was taken advantage of. And ultimately, in the end, when it was all said and done, they eliminated her to prevent the truth from getting out about what happened, guys. Okay. So when I clarify the Three of Cups with the Six of Coins, I get the Five of Swords here. Okay. The Five of Swords talks about somebody. The Five of Swords is not by the rules. Okay. It's kind of the energy with the Five of Swords. Somebody wasn't playing by the rules. Okay. Or the Five of Swords can also speak to hostility. Okay. It can speak to conflict and defeat. Okay. Some type of plot twist. Okay. Something abusive in nature. Okay. It's this sacrificing type of energy. Okay. Spirit is saying. Okay. So there ended up the Five of Swords can also speak to like fighting, fussing, cussing, arguments, disagreements, misunderstandings. Okay, but it's conflict, it's defeat, it's abusive, it's hostile. No matter how you look at it. Okay, guys. This conflict is what led to her death. This is the death card here. Okay, I'm telling you, there was a decision that was made by this couple that led her to her death. Okay, because of this conflict here. Okay, and you if you look closely here, you see how this person here, you see how her back is turned, but you see the man here look like he's coming, being carrying, he's got flowers in one hand, and behind his back he's got a knife to stab her in her back here. Okay, so this conflict is what led to Rebecca's death. Okay, we have the Three of Coins here. The Three of Coins talks about people doing it together. Okay, it talks about a group of individuals. It talks about collaborations. Okay, usually for the purposes of money. Okay, I do feel like there was some type of offer that was made, a deal that was struck, or something like that, or what have you. For money, this guy could have offered them money to like have a threesome with him, but it was a lie. It was a ploy just to get Rebecca where they wanted her. Okay, and then she was taken advantage of. Okay, and this is the reason why you have the Five of Cups and the Ace of Swords here. Okay, this is like an unwelcome change. Like she resisted something. Okay, And it led to some type of grief and sadness and loss and mourning for her, okay? Because of this truth, because of this clarity of what was happening, of what was going on, okay? I feel like maybe she wasn't aware of this until she was already stuck. She was already trapped. They had already lured her into a situation here, guys, okay? But this can also speak to there being a group of individuals collaborating together to cause the death of her as well, okay? A lot of threes out here. You have the Three of Cups, the Three of Swords, and now the Three of Coins here, okay? These threes are very significant, okay? I'm telling you, this rejoicing and celebration led to deep emotional pain, heartache, heartbreak, okay, due to some type of collaboration for the purposes of money, okay, is what happened here. But she was brutalized and she was taken advantage of in the midst of this. It was a ploy, it was a setup, okay, and she ended up being trapped. Um, she ended up being forced and she ended up being left hanging by the one person she knew and trusted, which was her girlfriend, supposedly. This Tracy chick, okay, guys? So I'm seeing here justice in the reverse, okay? Now this is where the story gets tricky here, okay? Because justice in the reverse talks about guilt and blame, okay? It talks about karmic avoidance. It talks about something being unfair. It's a victim or victimization, okay? It's the cancel culture type of energy. Um, she was shamed. She was blamed in some type of way. There was some type of retribution or there is some type of retribution when justice is in the reverse, guys, okay? There's a situation that is imbalanced here, okay? This is where the story gets tricky, okay? Because we do know, okay? I told you all leading up to this point of what went on with Rebecca the night before. But we know that Rebecca got away from Tracy and that guy got out of that room eventually. This is where you see her walking and distraught, upset, crying, hurt in these baggy clothes, okay? I believe when she stopped to make that call to call someone, she told someone what had happened to her. And that's where the retaliation came from. Okay. That's where the retaliation came from because we have the moon here. Okay. The moon talks about secret things, hidden things, what's done in the dark. The moon is clarifying the Eight of Swords and the Five of Wands here. Okay. So, like I said, the Eight of Swords talks about one being entrapped, stuck, restricted, unable to move or get out of a situation. The Five of Wands speaks of jealousy, envy, hatred, spitefulness, competition, retaliation, punishment, payback, or revenge. Okay. The moon speaks of secret things, hidden things, what's done in the dark, illusions, fear, cover ups, criminal activity, shady people, dirty dealings, sneaky, freaky, creepy things, blow down and dirty things, freak, nasty things, something going on behind the scenes, behind closed doors, behind someone's back, things that go bump in the night in the wee hours of the morning. Okay. The moon can even speak of secrecy and witchery, even moon magic here. Okay. Something happening late at night, when it's still dark out, okay? Uh, and being done in secret. The moon also speaks of deception, okay? Misconceptions, uncertainty, okay? Blocked intuitions, one's subconscious, okay? Anxiety, okay? As well as illusions and instability here, guys, okay? This conflict and defeat and hostility and abusiveness and plot twist that led to Rebecca's death, okay, due to some type of collaboration for the purposes of money. I feel like when she got away and she told someone, with this justice in the reverse, y'all need to understand that justice usually comes from someone in authority, someone in power, someone who's running, ruling, and controlling things. They placed guilt on her. They blamed her. They shamed her. Something was unfair. She had been victimized, and the retribution was on her. okay, about these secret hidden things that was done behind the scenes to her, guys, okay? It was her job. Eight of Coins. The Eight of Coins speaks to the money one makes from the work that they do. The Eight of Coins in the tarot is a person's job card. Okay, this talks about a person who is dedicated to the craft, to their job, to their work, to their career, to their occupation. It talks about someone's specialties and skills and achievements, their work, basically. Okay, the Eight of Coins is sitting on the Five of Swords. This conflict, this defeat, this hostility, this brutality, this abuse, this sacrifice came from her job, her workplace. Okay. To clarify the death card, we have the devil. The devil is evil, is wicked, is toxic, it is demonic, y'all. Okay. It is sinister, but we know that the devil talks about temptations, lusts, desires, sex, sexuality. It also speaks to addictions, addictive patterns of behavior. Okay, it speaks to bad habits. Okay, when speaking of one's addictions, this could be drug addictions, alcohol addictions, sex addictions, any type of addictions. Okay. The devil talks about a lot of things, even greed and materialism and possessiveness and obsessiveness and control and manipulation and deception, narcissism, a lot of different things here. Okay. The conflict, defeat, the hostility that she endured came from her job. Her death came due to her attachment to the devil. Okay. But the devil is sitting also, even though the devil is clarifying the death card, the devil is sitting right next to the Eight of Coins, y'all. That means that her job was the devil. There was all kinds of evil and wicked things going on that cruise ship, a Disney cruise ship at that. There were all type of toxic things on that cruise ship, even before the casualties of this night. It's all kind of shady, shysty, low down, dirty, abusive, toxic things on that cruise ship. Her job is literally side by side with the devil. Y'all, that's probably all kind of secrecy and witchery and satanic, some demonic ass shit on that cruise. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody on that motherfucker is under a damn spell, a Disney spell. Okay? That Mishka, Mickey Mouse, that is a spell. That is a wizard curse. Okay? Y'all ever watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? Okay? And he's there, he's with his wand, he's with his friends, and he's singing this little song. That is a magic. That's magic that he's doing. What is he singing? Okay? There was something toxic and demonic about this job. Okay? I'm gonna say allegedly. Okay? Because Disney is a real stickler about covering up their low down, dirty do-ins. Okay? But it's a whole lot more evil, wicked, sinister, and toxic shit that has gone on in history with Disney, okay? Stemming all the way back to Walt, himself before he passed away, okay? But, that's neither here nor there. But there was something very toxic, very devilish, very sinister about Rebecca's job, okay? And one have to ask themselves, okay? Just think about what Tracy said about her. She said that now remind you, she was a youth counselor on this cruise. Tracy said that she was often depressed, that she was using cocaine, that she was using drugs and different things. Most people who do drugs, they're trying to numb the pain. Okay? They're trying to numb the pain of something. Okay, especially those who do drugs when they are depressed or stressed, they're trying to numb the pain of something. It's a little bit different when people are getting high for party reasons. People who get high uh, while partying, they're doing so just to feel good while partying and having a good time. Persons who get high, especially excessively more while they're stressed and depressed and dealing with anxiety, they're trying to numb the pain of something. Okay. Tracy said that Rebecca was often stressed, depressed. She banged her head up against the wall of the ship. She would scream. She would cry. This is someone who has endured some type of trauma. That girl had been traumatized long before this night. I felt like she was enduring things. She was going through things that maybe she couldn't disclose and discuss with everybody. And the one person that she thought she could trust, her girlfriend, Tracy, betrayed her for some dick, teamed up and linked, set her up with a guy, and said herself she got turned on watching this bastard rape her. She didn't say that part. Oh, she said she got turned on when she said that, they went back to his room, they were going to have a threesome. She said she got turned on that Rebecca would embrace this side of, this new side of herself and indulge in such a thing or whatever. But no, that bitch got turned on off of seeing that girl brutalized and fucking raped by a man because she wanted some dick. I think she's a sneaky, cunning fucking fox, and that was fucked up. It's different. If you are bisexual and you got a girlfriend and your girlfriend is bisexual or, whatever, and y'all are all willing to do something, but you don't force shit on no damn body. And you damn sure don't sit back and allow them to be brutalized and hurt like that or what have you. And then just leave them the fuck hanging? I don't feel like Rebecca was been more into that shit than a man on the moon. And if a part of her was going to participate a little bit in some type of way, it was only to please and appease Tracy, but she betrayed her. That's fucked up. But when she came stumbling out of there, hurt, distraught, crying, upset, she stopped at that phone. She stopped to call somebody and tell somebody what was going on. What happened? Ask yourself, who could somebody call at 5:40? At 5:45 in the morning, even most of the guests are still asleep. Or people who, are early risers may have just been getting up, brushing their teeth, washing their face, getting ready to get up and get dressed. But most of the people on that cruise likely probably were, there with kids. Nobody kids getting up that damn early to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? They'd be lucky to be up by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock to go get damn breakfast. You understand what I'm saying? Usually only older adults, okay, rise. It's like the older one gets, the earlier they get up in the morning. They're the ones that get up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Ask yourself, who could one call in distress at 5:45 in the fucking morning? That's whoever Rebecca called. And whoever that person is, she told them what happened to her. And that phone call was recorded. Not only was she recorded on CCTV making the phone call, that phone call was recorded because they some sneaky nosy ass bastards too. She used an in-house phone. Those calls were recorded. You damn sure better believe that they listened to that shit. But you know what happened after that? She was shamed. She was blamed. She was treated unfairly for being victimized in that way, for going along for such a thing. She was made to believe like it was her fucking fault. Instead of reporting the abuse and the rape of an employee and having to maybe deal with a lawsuit or some type of shit like that from the cruise ship, they decide to handle this matter in a different way. We got the fool here. They treated her like she was a fool for being careless, for being reckless, to team up and link up and collaborate in this, threesome ass situation for the purposes of money or otherwise. But she was abandoned. She was neglected. She was left out in the cold. She was rejected. She was alienated. She was left in harsh conditions. I do also believe that I did see something where she was in mental conflict about money. If she did have some type of habit or addiction, she could have been in need of money. And I know a lot of you saying where she was working, there was a point for being on the cruise. They obviously get paid. If she actually did have an addiction, she may have been spending a lot of money. Drugs is expensive on the streets. Okay. In a city, a state, or town, or country near you, it's probably even more expensive. Okay, smack in the middle of the ocean, just because it would be hard to get to someone. Okay, there's no telling. Okay, but I did see the I seen a bunch of nines. I seen the 9 of wands, the 9 of swords, and then the 9 of coins, all back to back to back. 999. Then you got 666. But the 9 of wands speaks of one being defensive, feeling like they need to protect themselves and defend themselves in some type of way. The 9 of swords speaks of mental conflict, mental anguish, stress, worry, depression, anxiety, sleepless nights. The 9 of coins, it speaks of the money one makes from the work that they do, like their accomplishments. It speaks of one being self-sufficient and abundant or whatever. So if this person was feeling defensive and like they need to protect themselves and was in mental conflict about money or what have you, maybe it's because that person didn't feel like they're up, or like maybe a lot of their money was going out, for particular things or what have you. But and it could be the reason why she went along with some type of offer that was made, okay? Some type of collaboration for the purposes of money, okay? It's like this threesome type of thing, but like it was something else, okay? But she was literally set up. She was trapped. And to cost you, and you know that because to clarify the 8 of swords with the 5 of wands and the moon card, you get the lover's card. The lover's card don't have a thing to do with love. It has to do with sex. It's a coming together, okay? It's a union. It's connections, okay? It's sex. So this secret, and what's the moon about? Secret things, hidden things, what's done in the dark, criminal activity. Coupled with the moon, there's some type of secret sexual situations that went on. But she was, like I said, you got the 8 of swords with the 5 of wands. She was trapped, restricted, unable to move or get out of a situation due to retaliation, punishment, payback, revenge, jealousy, envy, hatred, competition, about these secret, hidden things pertaining to this lover theory. She was set up. But you remember what I told you. Now remember, Tracy said that she never left the room. She never searched for her. And she said she never left the room with the guy that she was laid up with. Okay? She said Rebecca got up, said she needed some clothes, grabbed some clothes, like I guess she took the guy's clothes and put them on, said she needed to go for a walk. She left out. Tracy claims she left the door open or unlocked, at least. Left the door unlocked, claiming, expecting her to come back, okay? But she never did. And she said she stayed in the room the entire time, even after the message went out to the cruise employees, and everything that Rebecca was missing. She still didn't get up. She still didn't leave, supposedly, and look for her. Okay? By that time, she had to smooth disappear. Okay? So there's been a lot of speculation that, whatever was going on, Amy was so distraught, or excuse me, Rebecca was so distraught There could be, I don't know why Amy came out. Somebody involved could be named Amy. I have literally slipped out. I have no idea who Amy is in this situation. I was not even trying to say Amy. Somebody named Amy could be involved. She could have called someone named Amy. Okay. That slipped out for some reason. I don't know why that name slipped out. There's nobody in this story that I know of that is named Amy. There had to be an Amy that she knows that's around. Maybe that's who she called and told what happened. There's an Amy that is involved in this that knows something. Okay. Nevertheless, there was a lot of speculation that Rebecca was so distraught that she jumped to her death. And even Tracy had said, oh, she had said she wanted to commit suicide before, but said she was too coward to do it. And then she was sad about being too coward to just end her life, and all kinds of stuff this Tracy girl was saying. And I'm like, this is so wow. And she comes out and say this like 6 years later, and it makes you wonder, did the cruise restrict her from speaking out or saying anything or what have you? Or is she only saying all of these things now because she's trying to clear her own name and make herself look like some better of a person or some shit or what? But anyway, so that's what was said, guys. Okay. So a lot of people, and that's literally the story that the cruise line went with. Okay. That, oh, this rogue rave came and Rebecca swept overboard or what have you. There were even some people who straight up and said, oh yeah, she jumped to her death or what have you. Which I feel like all that was being said as a cover up, guys. Okay. Because remember the extra cards that I told you I got, a Hierophant in the tower here. Okay. Now, the Hierophant, guys, this is somebody who has a position of power, okay? The Hierophant is interesting because the Hierophant, the picture that's depicted on this card, is a priest, okay? So the Hierophant is usually someone who either acts like or claims to have some type of religious values or traditions or something like that. They can also be seen as rulers or leaders or authoritarians. Usually Hierophants, okay, no matter their position, title, or role, they're usually in a position where they like help, heal, teach, guide, uplift, or manage others in some type of way. People usually look to them for like help or guidance or like management or something like that in some type of way. So that could literally be anybody in any type of profession. It literally could be anybody, a doctor, a nurse, a manager, a priest, you know what I'm saying? A therapist, a counselor. It literally could be anybody in any position where their position is to assist others in some type of way, manage others in some type of way, help others in some type of way, is the Hierophant, okay? But this person is coupled with the Tower. Now, the Tower is a reckoning, okay? It's a shocking event. It's an energy surge, okay? It's immediate, okay? It's a revelation of something that happens like all of a sudden out the blue, y'all. Okay, it's an upheaval. It's a shake up of things. Okay, it's a wipeout. Okay, it's something being destroyed. It's chaos. It's tragedy. It's destruction. It's disruptions. It's problematic situations of any kind. Okay, and this is coupled with this Hierophant. Whoever this Hierophant is was the cause of this chaos, this tragedy, this sudden upheaval that happened all of a sudden out the blue as it relates to what happened to Rebecca. Okay, guys? And so I clarified this Hierophant and the Tower. Okay, I wanted to see what this was and why this person was sticking out, because I told y'all when I first shuffled this deck, that Hierophant was the person that flew out. It was almost like Spirit was just trying to tell me matter of factly, real quick, who in fact was responsible for harming Rebecca. Which she was harmed in more ways than one. Okay, because like I said, she was set up and lured and victimized, okay, by Tracy and that guy. Okay. But it was somebody else who got involved, which led to what ultimately happened to her next. Okay. So when I clarify the Hierophant with the Tower, I get the Moon and the Death card. Okay. First of all, this let us know that this Hierophant did something in secret. Okay. Again, we have another Moon card here. Okay. We know that the Moon, like I said, speaks of secret things, hidden things, cover-ups, criminal activity. This Hierophant did something in secret. Okay. Also with the Moon, you can't forget about the Moon. The Moon illuminates. Okay. Just like any other light, the Moon illuminates. Okay. So sometimes something that was supposed to be secret, hidden, or covered up has come to the light. Okay. As well. But we have the Moon here clarified with this Hierophant. So this is definitely a very sneaky, mischievous individual who is sneaking and creeping around, doing things in secret here. Okay. What was this Tower? The Death card, transformation, an abrupt change. Okay. Something that went on in secret, behind the scenes, behind closed doors, is what led to Rebecca's death. Okay. I get the Devil. Okay. Clarifying the Hierophant. So the Devil is toxic, is evil, is wicked, is sinister, is dark, is demonic. Okay. This Hierophant is someone who is chained to the devil. Okay. Someone who has sold their soul to the devil. Someone who has addictive patterns of behavior, toxic ways. Okay. We have the 10 of air. So the Devil in the 10 of air came out here. Okay. This Hierophant being chained to the devil in all his toxic ways, his or her toxic ways, is what led to the ultimate betrayal, disloyalty, sabotage, ruin, fatal ending of Rebecca Coriam. She was stabbed in the back. Okay. I mean that figuratively. Okay. This was cruel. This was brutal, what was done to her. And it's because of this toxic, sinister, devil-ash energy what led to this ultimate betrayal. Okay? Who is this Hierophant? 8 of Coins. Again, this is somebody that she works with, works for, or what have you. Again, her job is brought up. Okay? Her job has to do with this Moon energy, this cover up, this criminal activity, these secret things, these hidden things. Her job has to do with this devil energy, this obsessions, addictions, toxicity, wickedness. Okay? Judgment. 8 of Coins and Judgment came out together. It was her job, the cruise line, Disney Wonder Cruise, that made a judgment, that made a decision, that took action, made a judgment call on this situation here. Okay. Her death was due to ultimate betrayal and disloyalty. And this is because some type of judgment, decision, or action was taken. Her job are liars, cheaters, manipulators, and con artists. 7 of air here. Okay. Who made this judgment? An emperor. The emperor, this is somebody of the establishment. This is a boss. This is somebody in power, authority, leadership. Somebody with structure, organization, okay? A ruler, a master, a leader of some. You already have the Hierophant up here. This Hierophant is this emperor here. This is somebody, I don't want to say this is the captain, but this is damn sure somebody on that ship that is as powerful as the captain. This is somebody with a lot of power, a lot of authority here. Okay? Was it her manager, her direct manager, for whatever position she had? It was definitely somebody in power. Somebody with some type of power or authority on that cruise line. They are the ones who caused her death. Okay? They're the ones who caused her death. And it's because she told something. She spoke out about what was done to her the night before, the rape that occurred. Okay, and I feel like this, whoever this Hierophant is, wanted to cover up. This was in an effort to cover up the rape, to cover up the abuse that took place on that cruise ship, to cover up the toxicity. So many things would have been exposed. Not just rape, not just abuse, but the drugs. Okay? Because like I said in the beginning, nobody ever asked with these things, where do the fucking drugs come from? Y'all are smack dead in the middle of the ocean. And there'd be a whole lot of people with drugs on these damn shit. Where do they come from? Okay? It's one thing for random fucking passengers to smuggle in, a little drugs to do while they're on vacation, or whatever. How are the employees getting it? The only way for employees to get drugs is if they're already on the ship. They're being trafficked by the ship. Okay? And that's a whole nother story in itself. But if you look at a lot of these cases with these cruise and shit, drugs be involved. People be having access to fucking drugs on these cruise ships. Y'all are smack dead in the middle of the ocean. Where are the drugs coming from? They already got to be on the damn ship. There is drug use to drug dealing to drug trafficking that goes on cruise ships. A lot of things would have been exposed with the exposure of. This is the reason why the devil keeps coming out as it relates to her job. See, whatever habits or addictions Rebecca had, it wasn't for no fucking reason. She was in a toxic fucking environment, a toxic work environment around toxic fucking people, whole lot of peer pressure. Okay? And all other kinds of shit. But her death, and this was the reason for the cover up for this. There was a cover up of many things. Okay? Because you got the moon, the devil, the 8 of coins, 7 of swords. There were lies, deception, manipulation, and trickery on her job. Toxic, devilish ass things that was being hidden, the secret, and covered up. Okay? Rebecca's death happened due to ultimate betrayal. She had been betrayed, sabotaged. Okay? People had been disloyal to her. People had stabbed her in her back, mistreated her, was cruel to her, was brutalized her. Her death was ultimate betrayal, and this decision was made by an emperor individual. This is somebody who is a father figure, a masculine individual. This is somebody who is a boss, who is in power, who is in authority, who is in leadership in some way, shape, form, or fashion on that cruise ship. That is directly who made the ultimate decision to kill Rebecca. And they lied and they covered it up, what actually happened to her. But I also seeing justice in the 10 of earth here. Justice is in the upright right here with the 10 of earth here, okay? I feel like this justice can speak to some type of legal situations, legal matters, to her disappearance. And the cruise ship, they buried the truth and they just paid off the family. They paid the family, I don't know, like maybe $1 million and some dollars or some shit like that, or what have you. But the Disney Wonder Cruise lied to the public, to everyone, about what really happened to Rebecca Coriam, who was a sacrifice. She was set up and she was sacrificed on the fuck purpose. Okay? So let's see if there are any other messages. Spirit, clarify the 3 of Cups, the 6 of Coins, the 5 of Swords, and the 8 of Coins. I'm saying kick to the curb. It's like she was kicked to the curb in some type of way. Private relationship. This is so Tracy could have some type of private relationship with this guy. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying don't want to hear it here. She didn't want to hear something. Maybe Tracy was telling her. I feel like Tracy may have learned about this guy that night. Okay. I'm seeing caught, huh? This speaks of finding evidence, getting caught cheating, or getting caught or cheating or something like this, or what have you, Spirit is saying. Spirit, what else is going on here? What is the Eight of Swords, 5 of Wands, the Moon, and the Lovers? Depression. She was in major depression, guys, okay? Spirit, what else happened? I'm seeing promiscuous here. Sleeps around a hot free-for-all, sleeps with your man. This could be Tracy's energy here. Yeah, there was some type of betrayal. There was betrayal, deceit, backstab, traitor, not to be trusted. I'm also seeing bugaboo here, okay? Tracy could have tried to treat her like she was some type of bugaboo or something like that, okay? She wanted some type of private relationship with this guy or what have you. But remind you, Tracy was supposed to be Rebecca's girlfriend, but there was betrayal, okay? I'm seeing an anger management. Something really made something really made Rebecca very angry. This is coming out on caught, huh? Somebody got really angry here, okay? If that's not Rebecca's energy, somebody definitely got really, really angry here, okay? So I'm seeing envy here, okay? There was depression, there was envy in this situation. Spirit is saying, yeah, situation's about to explode, shit's about to pop up in flames. Okay. I feel like Rebecca would call herself fighting for what she loved, claiming what's hers. Okay. This says love is a battlefield. Okay. Yeah. I feel like Rebecca could have, altercation could have arose too, because Rebecca could have definitely stood up for the fact that like Tracy was her girlfriend and, different things like that or what have you. This could be where some type of rise and decisions was made and different things like that or what have you. I'm seeing sexual protection here. Spirit clarify, why is this? Yeah, I came back out again. Sexual protection here. I feel like that's when it was decided, okay, so let's have a threesome or something like that. And she maybe was really taken advantage of or set up in some type of way. I'm seeing falling apart, falling into pieces. Spirit, what else is going on? I'm seeing running away. This could be when, finally she got away and ran away. Depression, envy, she ran away here, okay? Something definitely, I'm seeing getting a room at the bottom of the deck. This is hotel, motel, suite, business, pleasure here, okay? So something definitely went down in the room that they were all in. Spirit, any of the messages? I'm seeing insecure. Rebecca could have felt a bit insecure about a situation here. Okay. Again, I'm seeing get in a room. Maybe she felt insecure about going to a room with this guy or what have you. I'm seeing hater here. They like tried to treat her like she was a hater or hating on what they were doing or what they had going on, or like blocking or something like that. I'm also seeing something about recording. Something was recorded. Yeah, I'm seeing getting played. She got played due to manipulations and lies. Okay? Yeah, doing drugs here. She could have even gotten caught doing drugs, which led to, because she was angry, which led to somebody else's anger management or something like that. Okay, because something fell apart and fell into pieces here. Okay, this is sitting here caught, anger management falling apart, falling into pieces, doing drugs. It's all in the same column here. Okay, yeah, situation was definitely toxic. Spirit is saying. Okay, I'm seeing bad choices here. I'm telling you, recording something. There's some type of recording, something about a recording, announcement, expression, revealing. Something was recorded. I'm seeing knowing they fucked up at the bottom of the deck, keeping you a secret, fake friends. Spirit, what else is going on? Yeah, definitely fake friends. She was getting played by some fake friends, Spirit is saying. Yeah. Something was total drama. Somebody could have burnt some type of evidence. I'm seeing fulfilling fantasy, game over. What else is going on here? Sex shop. Something was thrown in the trash. Somebody could have threw something away, got rid of something, tossed something out, or something. Or they could have treated her like trash and threw something away. She's definitely in her feelings here. Okay? Something wound up destroyed, shattered, broken, fucked up in some type of way. Fulfilling a red lipstick stains, fulfilling a fantasy. Somebody could have given some type of fake apology. Somebody burnt some type of evidence or something. Yeah. I'm seeing knowing they fucked up again. She should have had caution with something and the people she was mixing and mingling with and dealing with. Game over. Investigating. Yeah. Yeah, knowing they fucked up is at the bottom of the deck. Well, trash, throwing away, getting rid of, tossing out is at the bottom of the deck here, guys. Okay. Spirit, give us clear and accurate messages about what happened to Rebecca Coriam on the Disney. Damn, I see death with the first card. Death and revenge. First two cards come out. Her death was due to some type of revenge. Spirit, what else is going on in this situation? There could be a fire sign involved, or somebody's a fire sign. Either she's a fire sign. I seem like I heard somewhere that she was born in March. If she's a fire sign, if her birthday's in March and she's a fire sign, that would make her an Aries. However, she could be a Pisces born in March as well. Okay, I'm seeing the devil here. Okay, so a lot of devil energy keep coming out here. Okay, a lot of toxicity. Okay, dark, evil, wicked, sinister things. Okay, I told you the devil talks about a lot of things, from sex to sexuality to temptations, lust, desires, addictions of any kind, addictive behavior, bad habits. We got boat here. So this all happened on this boat. Spirit, what else? I told you, mind control. They have them employees. She was under some kind of mind control or something. Spirit, what else is going on here? Spirit, clarify death. I seen dismemberment. What? I'm seeing perversion here. Spirit, what else is going on? Male here. So whoever sought out revenge against her was a masculine individual, a perverse masculine individual. Spirit is saying there's some type of cover up. Spirit, what else is going on here? Yeah, but this was an assassination, guys. This was an assassination that happened on this boat. Okay. This perversion, whoever this masculine is that caused her death, was a perverse ass individual. Spirit is saying. Spirit, what else is going on with this situation? What happened to Rebecca Coriam? There could have been some type of life insurance on her. What happened to Rebecca Coriam? I feel like she tried to run away from something or someone. Organized crime here. There's something about, I'm telling you, there's something about surveillance, y'all, okay? Something is on surveillance. Maybe even her death and some type of perversion is on surveillance. Spirit is saying, okay? I'm telling you, there's more than just her disappearance, her death. This cruise line was trying to cover up. I'm seeing drugs and poison here. Spirit, what else is going on? I'm also seeing debt here. She could have been in debt over drugs of some kind. She could have been in debt with somebody for some type of drug, over some type of drugs. Because I'm seeing debt here as well. Female. Spirit, what else is going on here? What else happened to Rebecca Coriam? I'm seeing travel here. So we know that she was traveling, or they were traveling. They were on this cruise ship, obviously. There's a lot of organized crime that goes on while traveling on these boats. I'm telling you. Spirit, what else? Any other messages? So I'm seeing greed, jealousy, love. Spirit, what else is going on? What happened with Rebecca Coriam? have abuse and neglect here, okay? Her death, some type of perversion, some type of abuse and neglect is all on camera, y'all. I'm seeing strangulation here. She could have been strangled and then maybe tossed overboard or something like that, or what have you. What else is going on? Again, I'm seeing greed. And man-made disaster. So this was not something that naturally happened, okay? With man-made disaster here, this was literally done by another individual, okay? Whether it was plotted, planned, schemed ahead of time, this has definitely happened. This didn't happen from, rough winds or an unusual wave or an, knee-jerk accident, okay? This was a man-made disaster that was caused on purpose. Yeah, jealousy. I'm seeing dismemberment again. Somebody could have dismembered this woman's body. I'm seeing jealousy, water, dismemberment, trapped, imprisonment. Remember I told you where it's like she was trapped, she was stuck, like somebody like held her somewhere? Okay. This could have even been something that happened after she got away or out of the situation with Tracy and the guy. There was definitely some type of jealousy. Like I said, looked like she was a water sign Pisces. Okay. If not, she definitely could have been an Aries, but there was definitely some type of abuse, neglect. There was definitely surveillance or some type of perversion in her death here. She was likely, I'm seeing strangulation and dismemberment here, okay? She was trapped somewhere. She ended up being caged or trapped somewhere, like restricted in prison, like. Okay. That's what I'm seeing here. This water can also be that she was thrown in the water. Like after being dismembered or something like that. Like, what? Sir, what else is going on? Give me one more. One more message from Rebecca Coriam. Yeah. Something is being hidden. I'm seeing hidden. Something's being hidden. Now, there's a lot of organized crime that goes on that cruise ship. Yeah, secret. Mm-hmm. Wow. What's the overall energy, Spirit? The overall energy. Cult. There's like a cult-like type of behavior. They're in a part of some type of cult. In some type of cult, are they required to sell out for working for Disney or something? Because this cult can speak to some type of coven, secret society cult, like satanic, demonic type of cult, devil worshiping cult of some kind here that they're a part of or something. But yeah, got cult at the bottom of the deck, trash at the bottom of the other deck. Okay, somebody was threw something away, got rid of something, tossed something out or something. Spirit, are there any other messages as it relates to Rebecca Coriam? What happened to Rebecca Coriam aboard the Disney Wonder cruise ship? Somebody like was set up some type of terms or something, like there was some type of terms. Somebody wanted to work something out, was negotiating with this person or begging this person. This could have been Tracy, who was like begging this person to partake in like this threesome or something here. Yeah. So I'm seeing obsession here. Somebody was holding on, couldn't let go, clinging to something here. There was revenge. This is the second revenge card we have. Something about patterns. Somebody was enjoying the show. Somebody was getting even. There's childish behavior here. There could be an air sign involved, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, in this situation. Okay. There could have been some type of risk. Partner to partner, unsafe decisions, not thinking. Sure, what else? Fire signs here. There could be a fire sign involved. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Somebody was, I'm seeing facade here. Someone was putting on a front. Okay, somebody could be a people pleaser. Somebody had hidden motives, weird behavior. Okay, yeah, whoever this person's new boo is, somebody's new boo. Somebody was seeing someone new. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing an earth sign here. There could be an earth sign involved. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What else is going on? She was somebody was unsatisfied with something, with some kind of bare minimum reciprocation, some type of losing interest or something. So clarify this risk. What is this risk all about? Somebody ended up being fired up, furious with rage, building up emotions, overwhelming thoughts, very angry. So what else is going on here? This had to do with some type of terms or something. I'm seeing jealousy here, okay? Somebody could have been talking behind her back, being envious, pettiness, attention seeking here. There's something about some type of terms, okay? Of something. I'm seeing secrets, exposure, being judged, hidden truth. What else is going on? Somebody could have been very guarded here, okay? Tracy could have been very guarded with this air sign, earth sign individuals here, like something with past traumas, building up walls, defensiveness, blocked heart chakra or something like that, okay? I'm seeing heartstrings here, but it's like somebody was, I feel like she was under some kind of mind control. Somebody's playing mind games, taking advantage of her, playing with her feelings, stringing her along here. This is on risk, was fired up. And then I'm seeing clown here. Appearances, humiliation, feeling ashamed. Okay. Yeah, triggers here. Somebody was triggered. Somebody also may suffer from childhood wounds, flashbacks. Somebody could have been ready to explode, caught in the act of something. There's some weird shit, perverse shit that goes on that ship with as it relates to children as well, y'all. Another reason for all the cameras. I'm seeing something about decisions here, okay? Holding back, coming towards you, indecisive, procrastinating, okay? Someone's very sneaky, plotting, okay? Like a slithering snake of some kind here. This person should have seen the signs here. Like the signs was all around this person that maybe something was wrong, but maybe they were, too intoxicated or, whatever. Yeah, she ended up being in regret here, some type of regrets, okay? This even says blamable. Somebody blamed her for something that she endured, something that she went through, something that happened, okay? Yeah. She felt ashamed. There was some type of, she felt guilty or some type of guilt put on her. Somebody could have blamed her, like something happened here. I'm seeing trash. Again, this is the second trash card. Something was too much. Something could have been throwing something out. This talks about letting go. This also talks about some type of screenshot proofs of something, like videos, recordings, photos, or something. I'm seeing closed off and confused at the bottom of the deck. So anxieties, refusing to give in, silence within. Confused talks about lost, feeling invisible, a void inside, running away. I feel like she ran away from them and she was able to get away. And then something else tragically happened to her. Ending her damn life. Yeah, I'm seeing ghost at the bottom of the deck, disappearing. Holding distance, no contact, leaving behind. This is right. This is really sad. Those emotions. Yeah, third party situations here. So some type of third party talks about love triangles, relationships, the other person, secret hookups. Okay. Any other messages for her? Give me some more. I keep seeing signs here. It's like the signs were cautioning her, warning her. It was all around her. If something wasn't right that was going on or something. Okay? I'm seeing lifestyle here. Something about in the closet, secrets being held down low or something. Unsatisfied at the bottom of the deck. I'm also seeing call here. I'm telling you, there is something about the call that she made into whom when she got away from Tracy and that guy. Okay, there was some type of expressing of something, a conversation, okay, that she had with someone, and somebody was listening in on that call, heard that call. Okay, she was killed to cover up something maybe she said on that call here. Okay, to someone. Okay, I really believe that she could have expressed, like, maybe what had happened, what she had went through, what she was going through, where she was. I mean, it could have been anything. Hey, I need help. Where you at? I got something to tell you. Something bad. I mean, it could have literally been any words used in this situation. Okay, but she tragically vanished. Okay, after she made that call, y'all. Somebody was listening. Somebody was watching. Okay, and I feel like she disappeared to cover this all up. Yeah. Look, first card. Surveillance. There is surveillance cameras. It says surveillance cameras may provide important clues. You damn right they do. I'm telling you. Everywhere she went, everything she did, what happened to her exactly is on camera. Okay? We're clarify what happened to Rebecca Coriam. Somebody could have already interviewed. I'm seeing already interviewed the killer. There was different points in time. Like they had, I feel like it seems like they had an agent, detective, or investigator from the Bahamas, which is where their ship is like stationed from, or what have you, come out, and he literally did like a one-day investigation on what happened to Rebecca Coriam, and then they had like they had the Coast Guard and different things. They just searched in the water. They didn't come on the ship. So it was only that one investigator from the Bahamas. Because like I said, they were smack dead in the middle of the ocean somewhere when, this tragic situation occurred or what have you. So it was really no one in particular's jurisdiction or jurisdictions. But so they just sent out some type of investigator from where their company or their boat is, stationed from or whatever. He literally spent like one day, okay, on there. Somebody has already interviewed, okay, the killer or killer. Somebody has already talked to someone who was responsible for the death of what happened to Rebecca. Multiple people were involved in the crime. Spirit is saying there was an argument or a fight is a strong factor. Okay. Spirit, what happened to Rebecca Coriam? Remember when I told you a group of individuals collaborated together for the purposes of like money or something like that? There was like 3 or more people who may have been involved with like doing something, getting rid of something that had to do with the disappearance, the death of Rebecca. Okay, but I'm like her job literally like made the final decision on something, covered something up, caused something to happen or some shit. So I'm seeing spontaneous behavior or mental illness contributed to the crime. Okay? But I mean, she was distraught. She was angry. She was upset. She was hurt, after the situation with Tracy and that guy or what have you. So, I'm seeing witnesses may fear coming forward witnesses may fear coming forward with valuable information. Okay. You see that tape over that person's mouth? There's help here. They can't speak. Okay. And I feel like this is more than like, hey, if you speak, you're going to be fired. Okay. They're threatening these people with something else. Okay. It's like these people are scared for their lives in some type of way. Yeah. Important details are not being revealed to the public. Okay. I'm telling you. There's lies, deception, and a potential cover-up. I told you. There is a cover-up. Now they're totally acting like, like it's some type of Mandela effect or some shit. Oh, that didn't happen. What do you mean? Disney Wonder Cruise it's a wonderful, magical place. That didn't happen. What else is going on here? Rage or extreme anger was a motive. Okay. Killer is a predator who tracks a specific type of victim. Perpetrator has behavior patterns of a serial killer. Somebody involved maybe has killed somebody before. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, that place is it is so toxic. It's not even just like this sea cruise, like all these cruise ships. Okay, the stuff that I've been researching and looking up and finding, child, please, they couldn't pay me to go on no better cruise at all. I'm seeing a friend knows something. She has a friend or somebody that was on the cruise that knows something. Okay. And they're afraid to speak up or speak out. Okay. I'm telling you, people know what happened to her and it's on surveillance. I'm seeing something about her dating history or the killer knew of victim. Okay. I'm even seeing research similar crimes in the area to see if they are linked. Okay, so there's other situations that has happened on this cruise ship before. Killer will murder again. Okay, and I'm telling you, whoever, I kept on seeing something about children. Whoever was directly involved with killing Rebecca are into children. Look at this. Killer will, what does that say? Killer will murder again. Do you see this person? This is the killer. But look at this person over here. That is a child. That is a child. Makes you wonder how many things have happened to children on these little children fucking cruises. I'm seeing something about the murder weapon used will provide valuable clues. So she was actually hurt and injured with something before whatever, how her, her body was disposed of. Okay. I feel like if she was thrown overboard or what have you, it was after the fact that something tragically happened. I don't feel like she went into the ocean alive, basically. There was motive for committing the crime here, okay? Something I kept on seeing money in a lot of it. Okay, almost like the cruise ship. Like if she was like the sacrifice for this cruise, the cruise ship, it's almost like they got a lot of fucking money. And the devil came out several damn times, and cults and organized crime and all kinds of shit. She could have been a blood sacrifice for the cruise line. Okay, who are sellouts. The satanic powers that be, and maybe they got a large amount of wealth for maybe they get a large amount of wealth for sacrificing one of their damn employees or some shit like that or what have you. But she was taken advantage of. Okay, it's like you know what I'm saying. Just imagine, and she probably just imagine if she did have like any type of addictions or anything like that, or what have you, any sort of bad habits or whatever. She purposely had people who was around her who preyed upon that. Okay, getting high, drinking, all of that. Okay, even mind control came out. Okay, so she was already in this vulnerable state, it seems. Okay, and it seems like she was just preyed upon in some type of way until she was like taken out, until she was sacrificed. Okay, and it's like everybody was in on it. Spirit, give us what else is going on as it relates to so I'm seeing drugs may be an important factor in the case. Okay, drugs is definitely victim engaged in unusual behavior prior to the crime. Okay, that was her interaction. That was the time she spent with Tracy and this damn guy. Okay, that Tracy girl claimed that she would never do anything to hurt Rebecca, but I definitely feel like she would. She had already did a lot to her. Money may be involved here. Spirit, any other messages pertaining to Rebecca? So there's a witness that may not be fully disclosing all of the facts as well. That could be the Tracy chick. And the guy that they were with, this bastard never spoke up and said a damn thing. It took Tracy 5 damn years to even speak up and say something. You would think she would have said something right the hell away, considering the fact this was supposed to be your girlfriend. No, she said hid out. Okay. I don't know if her job told her not to speak, not to say anything, or she just did so to cover her own damn ass because she didn't want to be implicated in any damn thing or whatever. But either way, it's fucked up considering the fact that was supposed to be your girlfriend, supposedly. But I feel like she was playing with that girl's emotions. Okay. There was some type of contamination of DNA evidence, okay? Any type of DNA evidence of anything, especially a crime, was definitely just like disposed of, was, washed away or something here. Okay, any other messages, Spirit? Any other messages? They should have interviewed more suspects, Spirit is saying. The victim had a history with her killer, Spirit is saying. She had some type of history with her killer. Yeah, details leading up to the murder may be worth investigating. Look at this card here, okay? Do you see how this looks like some type of clip or something almost? And you see this person falling off or being thrown off or something like that, okay? This person is falling backwards, okay? A person jumping to their death, they don't do so backwards, okay? Details leading up to the murder may be worth investigating, though. Okay, the last people that the people that she spent the night with, that she was with before her disappearance, before she seemed completely upset, crying, and everything in the hall, was Shirley and that damn guy. And I'm telling you, she was last seen from the video camera. She was seen the entire time. But what they showed people on a video surveillance clip, where they show her, okay, all distraught and crying, making the phone call, all that or whatever, that was at 5:45 a.m. Okay, somewhere between that time and 9 a.m. when she didn't show up for work. Okay, I feel like this, whatever happened to her, it happened quickly after that. I definitely feel like something was done to her while it was still dark out. Okay, but at 5:45, it's not, depending on where they were, it's not long before the sun is coming up. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, mostly in morning times, like, okay, definitely by 7 o'clock, it would have been daylight now. Okay, I would say, yeah, it would definitely be daylight now by 7 a.m. Okay, so something happened probably between 5:45 and 7 a.m. Because surely, somebody can gruesomely kill her and get rid of her in probably in daylight hours. Okay. Now the only other motive, you know what I'm saying? That means that something would have had to been, she would have had to been assaulted, killed, and thrown overboard between the time we seen her at 5:45 and 7 a.m. right when it started being in daylight, unless somebody had her hidden somewhere and trapped in prison some damn where, stuck where she couldn't get out of the situation. Okay, did something kill her while there? You know what I'm saying? Hid her away. You got her hidden some damn where. You know what I'm saying? She's not on the upper deck of the, you know what I'm saying, or anything anymore, where the guests see her, where other employees see her, or whatever. It is possible somebody could have had her hidden out somewhere. Okay, until that next night, and then got rid of her or whatever, because at this point we don't know exactly when she was gotten rid of. There's a lot of fucking hiding places. I even in the I did a story time about a situation on a cruise. Okay, I don't know what I call it. I call it cruise ship craziness, something like that, or whatever. I wrote this story or whatever. But in my research and investigating cruise ships, I learned that cruise ships have like prison cells, jails, even rooms that's like got padded walls, almost like what you find in like an institution or something like that, or whatever. It's hidden below deck, like where the staff be, like around where the security offices are, desks are, and like all kinds of shit, or what have you. How you get to like some of the employees' cabins and different things like that, or whatever. And I was appalled, like real. They look like real freaking jail cell looking things, okay? Like, but there's all kind of places, that a person could be being held, you know what I'm saying, being hidden somewhere, or what have you. All you know is the last time this person was actually seen by the guests and other staff and different things when they're on the upper deck where all this going on is happening, or whatever, was on a different day. But it doesn't mean that person could have been hidden out somewhere to that next night, to a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? Was this person trapped somewhere, hidden somewhere, in prison somewhere, tortured, brutalized, abused some more, then killed, or what have you? Okay, and then tossed overboard or something like that, or what have you? You just don't know. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, if somebody killed her and got rid of her that day, it would have had to happen between 5:45 and 7 a.m. Okay, because I doubt very seriously anybody's going to be sitting up on an upper deck, killing a person and throwing them overboard when it's broad daylight outside, when anybody could walk by or see anything. Okay, not to mention all the cameras that are around. I believe if something happened to her immediately, it happened while it was still dark out. Okay. And like I said, something is very fishy about that call. Okay, bottom of the deck, killer had an argument or disagreement with the victim here. Okay, somebody was mad as hell with her. Okay, I feel like I don't know if she called her boss or another friend, or it's somebody. It's whoever this person is that has this power, this authority that I was telling you about. They came out as the Hierophant and the Emperor, because I feel like whoever that person is may have been very pissed off at her. I believe Rebecca told somebody what had happened the night before, okay? And it's like they shamed her, blamed her, put some type of guilt on her, made her feel like it was her fault. And then that's when things got into play, and decisions was made to take her out, and something tragically happened where she was murdered. But I'm, you know what I'm saying? I did this to let people know this woman did not jump to her death. Okay. She did not commit suicide. This was no accident of, gusty winds or rogue waves or anything where this was an accident. This was murder and a cover up. Period, point blank, guys. Okay. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This was a murder. Okay. So real quick, before we wrap this up, before we get out of here, guys, I'm not at my desk, so I'm going to use this. Hopefully y'all can see this pretty good. Trying to get it. If the pendulum rocks forwards and backwards, it's a yes. If it rocks left to right, it's a no, guys, okay? So I'm going to ask Spirit some direct questions, guys. What's likely on everybody's mind that they want you to know the answers to. Give me just a second to clear my energy. Let me get this still. Spirit, did Rebecca Coriam kill herself? Did she commit suicide, Spirit? Did Rebecca commit suicide? Did Rebecca commit suicide, Spirit? That is a no. Did someone murder Rebecca Coriam aboard the Disney Wonder cruise ship, Spirit? Did someone murder Rebecca Coriam? Yes. Spirit, did Tracy, hold on, guys, let me see what's the last name of this call really quick. What's her name? Tracy Medley. Spirit, did Tracy Medley, hold on, let me get this still, guys. Did Tracy Medley have anything to do with the disappearance or the death of Rebecca Coriam? Did Tracy Medley have anything to do with the disappearance or the death? Yes. she was in on her disappearance, her death, the cover up, or something. Okay. Let's see. Spirit, did the Devon guy have anything at all to do with the disappearance or the death of Rebecca Coriam? Did the Devon guy have anything at all, Spirit, to do with the death or disappearance of Rebecca Coriam? That's a little inconclusive answer. Spirit, did the Devon guy that Tracy and Rebecca had the threesome with, did he have anything to do with her death or disappearance of Rebecca Coriam? Shaking like it's trying to give me an answer, but it's not giving me a direct answer. Spirit, did the Devon guy that Tracy and Rebecca had a threesome with have anything to do with Rebecca Coriam's death or disappearance? It's like it's trying to move, but it refused to answer. It refused to answer on him. Okay. Spirit, was Rebecca killed because of the call that she made to tell somebody what happened to her? Was she killed because of the call she made to tell someone what happened to her? That's a yes. Spirit, was there someone who was a manager or a boss or someone in authority who was involved in the disappearance or the death of Rebecca Coriam? That's a yes. I'm telling you, whoever this emperor is, it's somebody of importance, like somebody in power, like somebody who has like a high ranking position, have some type of authority or something. I feel like, okay, because this person came out as the Hierophant as well as the emperor. Spirit, did Rebecca jump overboard, leap to her death off of the cruise ship? Did Rebecca Coriam leap to her death, her own death? Did she commit suicide by leaping to her own death? No. Did someone throw Rebecca Coriam overboard? Did someone push or throw Rebecca Coriam overboard, Spirit? Yes. Which is also very interesting because if you think about it, like if somebody is like pushed suddenly or shoved or even like picked up and thrown over, you would think like that if that person is alive, they're going to scream, okay, all the way to freak down before they hit something, right? And it's like, nobody heard anything, nobody seen anything. That's what makes you believe like a lot of times when these things happen and somebody was thrown overboard or something like that, they were likely dead before they were thrown over, okay? Most of the time when somebody is thrown overboard is to cover up, their real cause of death by saying, oh, something awful happened and this person went overboard or they jumped to their death or there was some road waiting and they accidentally fell over or something. But 9 times out of 10, there's something else that has happened as to why they went overboard in the first place, guys. Okay, I'm telling you, from the Tracy chick to the dude that they were, hanging out with or whatever, to even management or like I don't even know what, like there's so many people on a cruise ship. Okay, even when it comes to managers and different things like that, like I feel like every area of like business on a cruise ship has its own boss. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like the kitchen staff people have a direct manager, you know what I'm saying? The housekeepers have a direct manager. The entertainers have a direct manager, you know what I'm saying? Servers and hostess and hosts, have a direct manager or something like that or whatever. So it's really hard to determine who this is exactly or what have you. But I'm telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, Disney Wonder Cruise, okay, they know exactly what happened to Rebecca, okay? And there was definitely a cover up, okay? There was definitely a cover up. The details leading up to the murder is definitely what is the most worth investigating, okay? Because it has everything to do with why this tragic situation even happened in the first place, y'all. You understand? Okay. But there seems to be a lot of people involved. I'm seeing air sign, earth sign, fire sign here. It definitely could have been, those other persons that, she hung out with or, kicked it with or something like that or what have you. But yeah, it's a lot of shady, shicey things going on, guys. Okay. So like I said, there are like a lot of other people who have like covered this story, but most of the people that you're going to listen to, they're just really kind of going over the story. They're telling you, basically the very brief details of what was the information that was given to the general public about the situation. Okay, nobody is really trying to get to the truth of the matter here. Okay, a lot of people are playing a lot of guesstimating games or what have you, but not everybody is into the same job. Some people, that's what they do. They just cover certain stories and different things like that, and they just don't go off of anything more than what law enforcement said or what some accredited agency has said in some type of way or what have you. But yeah, guys, I thank you all so very much for listening, for watching. I do hope that the information that I provided you has, give you some type of hint, some type of clue as to what transpired, as to what took place, as to what happened to this young lady. She had her whole life ahead of her. I definitely feel like she was really just she was still finding herself in life, okay? And, I feel like, living on a ship and living and working on a ship and the day-to-day of everything could become overwhelming for anybody, okay? Especially when you're being manipulated, mistreated or abused in certain ways or what have you. I feel like there was a lot of toxicity. She definitely has some fake friends around her for sure. Okay. Yeah. And this situation ended tragically. Okay. But I really feel like people were disloyal to her well before this situation occurred. Okay. And I really feel like it's just a lot of things was set up here. Okay. But there's a lot of secret things, hidden things, and cover-ups as it relates to her death. Spirit is saying, okay, a lot of things that have been hidden, that has been covered up, okay, for sure. But this was ultimate betrayal, guys. Okay, this was betrayal nonetheless. Here, she was ultimately betrayed. Okay, and her job is a very toxic environment as well. Very toxic environment. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, and I feel like at the end of the day, it's the very thing that like got the best of her. Okay. But I most definitely feel like she was taken advantage of, which led to her death. Okay. She was ultimately betrayed, and her job made some type of decision to lie um, about what really happened to her. Okay. And with this justice and the 10 of earth here, it's like they just chunked it up as whatever, paid the family a little money, okay, and buried this situation, swept it under the rug here, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. For those of you who like to contact me, you can do so at tip.diamond.36@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, which is shine bright like a diamond 36 with an underscore between each word. For any person interested in donating to the channel, you can do so through Cash App, which is $36, or through PayPal, which is paypal.me/@36diamond. As always, guys, y'all take care of yourself, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your baby Sunny. Remember, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in. There is wickedness in high places, and there is evil that is lurking around each and every corner, even in a neighborhood near you. So y'all watch your surroundings. Watch the company you keep, your surroundings, and the company in which your children are in as well. And considering the fact that you never know when someone may betray you, backstab you, try to hurt you, or harm you, honey, keep you some protection for you. Don't stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared, because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, baby. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God.